All right, so we're here with my guy, Headkrack from Dish Nation, one of the hosts. Also pulled up to the game the other day. So how was the vibes? You brought the kids?
Yo, it was a fun experience, and I think I am 3 Atlanta Dream games in now, and every time it's more fun, more exciting, more action-packed than the last, and it was a close game. Like, it wasn't one of those games where you could be like, all right, fourth quarter, we up by this amount, we out. It was very close. We stuck around to the very end, but, yo, it's never a dull moment.
Great, it's lit. Great. Thank you. We appreciate you coming. And so thank you for joining us here on Montgomery and Company. That's my sister, my snook. I was about to say my sister, my snook, my sister, my mom, and my wife here with you. We're hosts. So we do a family business, family pod around here, but we talk big business. And so you're a host yourself at Dish Nation. And it seems like there's always something funny happening on there. So I'm just curious to start out. Is it as funny off air as it is on air? Because our best takes sometimes are our outtakes.
Yo, listen, the best material is not fit for the air. So, I'm sure y'all ladies be like, all right, cool. Cut this just to protect ourselves. Because sometimes what is funny to us may be misinterpreted by the masses at large.
Definitely.
Like we say all the time, we should do a Dish After Dark. Something that maybe we could do a Patreon for. But, I mean, it's nonstop fun because it's just so many different characters on the show, right? And even just judging off the energy of y'all right now with Montgomery and Company, I can just imagine the stuff that's on the cutting room floor that's just sitting in the back of your minds. That's just great.
Yeah, boy.
We can't let Snook say everything, okay? She's from a different generation.
But that's real, though, because the crazy thing is, like, there's certain things that kind of get lost, you know what I mean, in certain philosophies and views. And sometimes we need to have that, that retro thought into play. Because
I try to let them know all the time. They don't want to listen, but I try to tell them.
We be telling her the folks ain't ready, but we're also competitive, as you know. When we first got here, Snook let us know that everybody let us know that she made it here first. So I'm curious, do you have some athletic roots in your background? Because you know where I'm going with this.
Absolutely. So I used to play a little bit of everything in all aspects of school, whether it was track, whether it was wrestling, whether it was intramural sports, where I really shined, like really good at dodgeball, tug of war.
One of my favorites.
Man, and I feel like kids started getting soft once they took dodgeball out of school.
Yes,
you
they
know
did.
what I mean?
I'm agree with that. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, like everybody should know how it feels to be like the target.
Yes.
Okay, I like that.
Hold on. Can we say soft now? You were talking about things getting misinterpreted. Can we say that still? Can we say that?
Yeah, we can say soft because I only mean that people are soft and sensitive and don't know how it feels to be struck or hit by anything in real life.
Absolutely.
People are only getting beat up on the internet now.
Right. And not just every day at school or something.
Exactly. He's right.
I got beat up by my sisters.
Down.
Yeah. Listen, I got beat up by my sisters, so I feel like, that was just a rite of passage. They had to make sure I was tough enough in case when I went out there. But
didn't you say
you're doing
Gino? Oh, my bad. I was gonna say Gino used to tell y'all that y'all needed to get beat up a little bit during practice too, right? At UConn.
Yeah, it was tough. It was rough out there. They didn't call fouls in practice. Like, what are we talking about here if we wanted a foul in practice? So you have your athletic background, which makes a lot of sense then because you're a boxer now. Like, would you call yourself a boxer now, or?
I would say I'm a boxer in the season of my life that I'm in right now, and next season I'm gonna be an actor because it's been so much training and so much energy that has been going into preparing for this fight that it doesn't really leave room for anything more. I mean, I'm sure you guys can attest to this. Like, when you are giving your all to the sport of basketball, you are physically exhausted. There's not much more that you can do after that.
That's a fact.
Yeah, so people be like, all right, cool, you out of the gym? Cool, so what are you going to do later? I'm like, chill.
Facts. You don't want to do nothing else. I try to tell people that the best thing to do when you're active or you're an athlete is a bunch of nothing. And on June 11th, there's a big celebrity boxing event going on where you are facing Kimbo Slice Jr. Now, you just talked about it. You're doing a lot of training, but I'm just curious, what made you say yes to getting in the ring with an MMA fighter? Like, what made you say yes to that?
Well, here's the thing. There wasn't really too many other people that was rising to the challenge because I was trying to fight other people that was in radio, TV, even on the rap space, and everybody's like, nah, fam, I'm good. No, you serious? Like that? But none of that stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, if I can't find anybody brave enough to step up to me, what if I leveled up and fought somebody that,
actual
you know,
fighter?
I would have to dig in and fight. Now, granted, I didn't seek this man out. You know, like the promotion company was like, yo, what about Kimbo Slice Jr.? And I'm like, okay, doesn't he
You guys went for it?
Doesn't he do this? Like, is he like a professional? But, you know, MMA and boxing is different. You know what I mean? And I did watch him box in an event that he did on like in March. And, you know, the fundamentals are there, but I also know the work that I've been putting in the gym too. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If I fine-tune a couple things, you know, this could be one of the biggest upsets in celebrity boxing history.
This is crazy because you might be right.
Yeah.
And so, like, who are you training with? Like, where are you like? What's that like?
So I'm training with Pepper, this guy named Pepper who has a gym franchise called Pepper
Boxing.
Absolutely, man. And Pepper, like when I first met him, he wasn't really like training people one-on-one, but like we hit it off really well. And he's like, all right, cool. I'm going to take you under my wing. And, you know, and I guess between point A and point B, whether he'll admit it or not, I started impressing him, right? Okay. And he's like one of them tough, like, you know, martial art, like dudes from the Kung Fu movies, even though it's boxing.
We met Pepper. Actually, me and Serena trained at their gym one time. Yeah.
Just one, because I couldn't take it anymore.
We was one and done. Boxing is not for the weak of heart, okay?
Yeah.
Man, your hands be all hurt. Man, listen, a lot of people think they tough until, like, you know, like, because one thing, the punching bags don't punch back, you know. True. And then, like, later on, when your body's talking to you after you're just chilling later and you realize, damn, these joints is, like, a little sore. Like, you know, they're baby bones, you know. And, but, like, you know, his way of teaching and my way of learning kind of complement each other. So it made it easy for me to continue on because I take criticism well. I know when I have a bad day in the gym. I know when I'm not laser focused. And, you know, we really got it popping. And also, too, like, you know, it's one thing to, like, you know, do the mitt work and, like, all right, throw a 1 or 2 or 5 and a 4. But it's another thing to get in there with another boxer and spar, which is like practice fighting, which I have done a bunch of these leading up to it. I got to do one when I leave here. And, you know, that is anxiety building within itself.
Definitely.
You know, because it's one thing to get ready for the big fight, which, like, you know, when I jump in the ring on June 11th, I'm fighting 3 1-minute rounds. But when I'm sparring, I'm fighting like 7 3-minute rounds with guys who are, like, handpicked because they're better than me. Right? Wow. So
that's intimidating.
It's yeah, so I'm getting my butt kicked, but I'm also kicking butt too in the process and learning how much abuse I can take. You know, it's not a Passion of the Christ style beating, but you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm taking my licks and I'm giving the licks back too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was just thinking about you talking about all of this preparation you're doing physically in the gym. What are you doing mentally or psychologically to is there a psychological game that you have to go through to prepare for this?
You know, truthfully, it's really more so of just understanding and putting everybody on the same level that you are. Like, hey, you're a man, I'm a man. I'm going to punch this man. This man's going to punch me. So I got to figure out a way to not get
simplify it real
quick. Like, you know, at the end of the day, because it's mostly mental. The second that you tell yourself you don't got it or you're afraid, people pick up on that frequency.
Definitely.
So you have to go in there confident and be aware of how big you are or what your limitations are and what you can and can't do. And some of it is like a lot of crashing and burning in real time. Because, like, I remember some of the first time sparring, I would get hit and it was like, yo, this man just hit me.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, it hurt. It's a punch. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes the boxers don't be reacting, though. So I'll be like, maybe they've gotten hit so many times that it don't really hurt them the same way it might hurt somebody that's not used to taking a hit.
Well, there's that, right? But I think even too, like, even they don't really hurt when they happen. It's later.
Oh.
You know, kind of like, you know, when you go on a wooden roller coaster after 30, you know, you don't feel it while it's happening. It's the ride home where it's like, yo, damn, what did I just do? What happened to me? So, so that's really what it is. Because the crazy thing, I've taken some crazy shots and just shook it off and then just do another shot back. But it's a matter of like learning how to control your body and control your temper. Because like the second you get hit, you're like, yo, you just hit me. Now I got to snatch your soul. But then
that's probably what looked like what happened to Nate Robinson. It looked like when he did his celebrity boxing match that he was fighting like, you know, like how you would fight in a street fight out of anger, like when you got hit. And that's kind of what you're saying. That doesn't fly
like
when you're actually really boxing.
You got to be controlled, huh?
Absolutely, because if you leave yourself open, anybody who knows truly what they're doing, they can counter with something.
They can see you're vulnerable.
Yeah, and next thing you know, you counting the ceiling lights.
And that's why I can never. And that's why I could never box, because I get angry, and then I'm trying to kill you, and I didn't forgot we're supposed to be punching back and forth. I forgot I'm not supposed to put my foot on you. I'm not supposed to be trying to drop kick you out the ring. It becomes a street fight. I'm looking for chairs. I'm looking for trash cans. I'm looking for anything to be able to just knock you out of this world.
Is ready for the rumble.
See, that's the part.
Jungle.
You're right. That is mentally, because you have to think, okay, well, there is a style to this, and if I have to be skilled enough, that all out the window. That's all out the window. The first punch, I'm like, oh, I'm right ready to kill somebody. It's got about to go down. So I can understand what you're saying. But my question is that what made you want to get into, like you said, you were seeking out other people. Was this just something that you were just thinking to do? Were you like, okay, I think this would be great to get in shape? Like, what actually made you say, I want to go the boxing route?
The crazy thing, it was all those things you said, but in a weird order, right? So, like, boxing has always been in my family, right? Okay. So, Joe Frazier is my cousin. God bless the dead.
What? Wait a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I also...
Smoking Joe is your cousin.
Yep, Philly's own.
Smoking Joe?
Yes, ma'am. And then also my mom's dad, he used to box as well. Like, you know, Golden Gloves, like stuff in Brooklyn and Queens and stuff like that. So, like, it's always kind of been in my DNA, and I've just always been a fan of the sport. So once I started seeing celebrity boxing making a comeback again, I was seeing some of the people that they was putting in there, and it was like, yo, I could do that. Oh, I could whoop that person. Da, 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 da. So, you know, it was like, yo, why not? Why not give it a shot as opposed to, like, you know, way down the road, be like, man, I wish I woulda, coulda.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
So you want to keep doing this then, like, because, I mean, I can't help but mention, like, Logan and Jake Paul, because they're trying to blow this whole space up. Like, we're not talking, I hope people understand, we're not talking little duckies here.
That's what I'm talking about. The purse. The purse.
We're talking about
has to be a big driver for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, people are making real money on these fights, whether you win or lose, too. That's another thing about these celebrity fights. So that's really interesting that, like, you just was like, hey, it's in my blood, it's in my family. I'm going to give it a go, because if you get in early, you might, I see what you're doing, because this is still early. And so speaking of that, not to give away your secrets, but what is your plan of attack? Like, is there a style you have? What are your strengths? Like, I saw your promotion. You're like, I ain't going to do what the normal boxing promotions do and trash the other person and all this and that. So, like, what is your thought process if, you know, right before the fight? Like, what are you thinking?
It's a lot of, like, really possum playing. Like, you know, because you don't want to oversell what your ability is, right? You know, so, yeah, I'm the guy on TV. Oh, man, like, I hope I do okay.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Meanwhile, like, I'm going to the gym 4 times a week and really putting in the work in. Wow. And going back to what you were saying earlier, Nicole, like, yes, I have tried so many things to get in some sort of shape. And my body has taken to this better than anything else I've done. Okay. I haven't seen the scale say these numbers in a long time.
Well, maybe I need to do that too. Maybe I need to get some gloves on. I need my scale to get right on the get right, and maybe that's the way to do it.
Gloves on,
yeah, we got our gloves on.
So there's a lot of other things attached, though. The celebrity ring announcers, Flavor Flav and Omarosa is the commentator. So what should we expect from that broadcast team?
A bunch of wildness. Yeah. I saw Flavor Flav be the in-ring guy for the event that they did in March, and he did a great job. I mean, Flavor Flav is just born to talk, right? Mm-hmm. And Omarosa is just a bag of surprises because everybody thinks she's this villainous person, right? But Omarosa is really like a very intelligent, you know, she's a sweetheart. Like, legit one of my favorite people in the reality TV space. So I'm interested to see what she brings to the table. I didn't know she was a big fight fan. I knew her her former fiance, rather, Michael Clark Duncan, was a big fight fan. So I guess vicariously through that, she found the love for it. So I'm interested to seeing how this goes and how the brand continues to expand. And hopefully I could say I'm 1-0 in the boxing space. You know what I mean?
Listen. Okay, so I have a question then, because Omarosa and them are all doing it. Who is I think you guys, are y'all the headliner? If not, it feels like you should be. Headkrack versus Kimbo Jr. is my headliner. But what are a couple of the other ones that we need to look out for? Because there's a lot of cards on there, but what's ones we should look out for?
Okay, let me pull this up right now, because Black China is also on the card. Black China is going to be fighting Alyssa Megan. She's like a social media influencer and whatnot. My money's on Black China. She is in many situations exuded prehistoric mom strength, when needed to. I saw her throw a whole stroller at a chick one time at Disney World. And if she brings any of that aggression into the ring, I like her chances.
Okay.
You also got my man, fellow New York representative Cisco Rosado, taking on Ohani Noah, who once used to date Jennifer Lopez, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And my money's on Cisco.
Yeah, mine too. Okay, my money's there too.
Benzino is fighting Mark Razor Rosati. Benzino, he has old man strength.
Yeah, I'm about to
and
okay. See, you're going in with that built-in strength. There was mom strength, which is Black China. Now we got old man strength for Benzino.
That's gonna be a good one too. I gotta watch all these.
It is gonna be a good one. Yeah. He's all upper body. His legs look a little thin.
So knowing what you know about boxing, having thin legs or having weak legs, what's your thoughts?
Okay, have you ever tried to just stand a straw up on a table just by itself, just the straw? If you do the fat straw, the one that you use for smoothies, it'll stand a little bit better. But if you got the thin straw, the little coffee straw, it's gonna topple right over. You gotta have some legs. Please don't skip leg day, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
I can't. So that's the lineup. And so who you got on that Benzino win?
My money's on Benzino because I know him. And I used to read the source. So I'm gonna rock with Benzino on that one. Kenny Rock is fighting Josh Colin. Kenny Rock is the third Chris Rock brother that no one knew about. I don't know who I got in that one.
It's a toss-up?
It's a toss-up. Let's see. If a Rock versus a Colin, who would win?
Help.
My money's on the Rock, I guess.
I can't help us all. Is that the whole lineup, Headkrack? Are you finished? Are you done?
No, there's more people on the undercard, but those are people
that's
who
the
are
main card.
Yeah, that's the main card, and there's other people who will be fighting for real.
Wow. Okay, so
I mean, we're fighting for real, but there's also people who are like boxers. They aspire to do this 10 years from now.
Okay.
They will be fighting before us.
Yeah.
Okay, so any last words to Kimbo Jr., because he's coming on the pod as well. We're highlighting your guys' matchup, so we're hearing from you. We're going to hear from him later. You got anything to say to him?
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, man, I respect Kimbo Slice Jr. for not only continuing his dad's legacy, but, trying something different. Because, he got in on the MMA space. He's 3 wins, 3 losses in the MMA space. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for, the whole Slice family. I remember when his pops was still alive, I drove all the way to Rome, Georgia with my son. And to see Kimbo Slice. And, Kimbo Slice was the nicest guy, signed autographs and the whole nine. And I see what Baby Slice is trying to do outside of the fighting space, because it gets to a point where, you just get tired of fighting. So he's building some things in the NFT space. I know this is definitely the place for me to be yo, I'm gonna talk crazy to him. Yo, I'm gonna put your head in the sand. I don't know. I have no hate or animosity for this brother.
And how do you think that's going to go for the fight? Normally that's what gets people excited for the fight. Should we be excited to watch y'all fight?
I'm excited. I'm excited.
We're excited.
I'm excited.
I know a lot of people are yo, how the hell is this gonna go? Because there's some people who probably honestly feel I have no chance in hell because they've never seen me in a fighting situation. Right. But also Kimbo Slice is fairly new to boxing, so it kind of levels the playing field a little bit, and it just really depends on who can land the most punches in that short amount of time.
Who can send up the most prayers.
Word. Who can send the most prayers? And I will accept all prayers because listen, man, all work without faith and the support of the community alone, sometimes breeds nothingness. So
That's true.
I will accept all y'all prayers and well wishes and all y'all positive energy because I want to pull this off.
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
just for anybody who ever felt like they was the underdog, who've been doubted their whole entire life, that's always been me. I've always been able to do what people felt like was the impossible. And the crazy thing is, win, lose, or draw, I win.
You do.
Because,
Absolutely.
as my people on the West Coast would say, he had heart. He had heart to jump in the ring and go up against Kimbo Slice Jr. You know what I mean? And a lot of other people didn't have the heart. So I got the heart. And I'm going to put it all out there June 11th.
That's
All right, well, June 11th, there is a celebrity boxing match going on. There's all kinds of people on the card. Headkrack, we're going to pray for you, okay?
Thank
we
you.
will pray for you.
And I will accept those prayers. This is me receiving them, grabbing those prayers out of the air through the computer.
hilarious.
Oh, man, Montgomery and Company, y'all are lit. This has been fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good luck, Headkrack.
Y'all have a blessed afternoon, y'all.
Thank you.